What's going on, guys? Failed to listen. Welcome back to more Failed Thoughts. And in this video, you can see by the title, we are going to talk about Michael Pachter. Something I feel I haven't done in what seems like 6 months to a year, possibly more. It's a lot of times this guy opens his mouth and says a lot of silly things, and sometimes it's worth addressing, other times not so much. But in this particular case, I feel it's worth addressing. But let me say this. I do think that, oftentimes Pachter doesn't get credit for being a very intelligent man. He doesn't get credit for the times he has been right. His good to bad accuracy ratio is not very good. It's not really in his favor, but he has been right. He has guessed things. He has estimated some things about the industry that have come true. But the issue is that, like, when Pachter says something a little bit less so with the topic that we're going to talk about in this video, you can almost say every time whatever he is saying, it's probably going to be the exact opposite of that. And I guess maybe it does pertain to this to this topic in this video as well, where he is saying, and I quote, "I think PC gamers are like racists. They only like their own kind and they have no interest in venturing out and mixing with other races. PC gamers are arrogant twits who are convinced what they do is better than what everyone else can possibly do." Now, again, I'll come back to that last line in a second. I have heard it all on YouTube. Keep that in mind too. I've been here since I probably came on YouTube like maybe 3 or 4 months when YouTube was a thing. You know what I mean? It started popping up in Google searches and things like that. So I've been on YouTube a long time, and I've watched the gaming community in particular more than any other, and I've heard a lot of silly things. Gamers, fanboys, especially the fanboys, the maniacs, like the crazy maniacs, make different comparisons in analogies to things like, 9/11 in video games, Hurricane Katrina in video games, a lot of these like disasters, these like crazy, horrible things that happen in our world, in our country or another country. Like they say these things and make these comparisons and such. And I'm just like, wow, really? Did that just happen? And that's kind of how I feel. This is definitely far from the worst comparison or analogy, however you want to look at it, that I've heard on YouTube when it comes to, video games and gamers in general. But to say PC gamers are like racist, I know I'm just one guy, right? I know I'm just one PC gamer, but nobody that I really associate with on the daily is like this. Everybody that I associate with owns at least one console. Like, I can tell you my buddy Kraken and I think my buddy Chew, both of them own like, a PlayStation 4. I don't think Chew has an Xbox One, but they both have a Wii U. They both have capable PCs. I think Kraken probably has more than one PC. And they probably have a lot of the older consoles as well, and a lot of games that they've kept. So, John, he has access to a couple of consoles. Blacktooth, same thing. People that I talk to a lot, people that I play games with a lot, they own at least one console, whether it's an Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Wii U, or an Xbox 3. Even if it's like one of the older ones, they have at least one console. PC gamers that I associate with do play on consoles. They will play and have played games at 30 FPS. Now, I admittedly haven't turned my PlayStation 4 on in quite some time, even after Uncharted 4. So keep that in mind, okay? Keep that in mind. But that's for a completely different video. Guys that I just associate with from time to time, Solid Rev or Hard 8 Times or Rich or Review Tech USA, Broken Games, Black Bond. These guys have owned or do own some of the new consoles as well as some of the old. And Black Bond's like a little bit of a collector. He has a ton of old console games and stuff. I don't have nearly as many, and I've been gaming for just a little bit longer. So, I mean, this is not true. This is completely not true. I mean, you can just like scour the internet looking for different, PC gaming forums and topics where they talk about owning at least one of the consoles. Oftentimes, when it comes to the new stuff, it's the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One. Okay. So, I talked to another guy, shout out to Freak. He's a really good guy. We talk pretty often, I would say. Text back and forth on our phones and stuff. He just recently got rid of all of his consoles because he doesn't really turn them on anymore. Doesn't really have a use for them, but he was playing them. He did enjoy them for a time. Will he never buy one again? He says he's done with consoles. I don't know, but never say never. You can never really truly say never, right? I mean, I could just throw my PlayStation 4 in the trash right now and be like, man, what a complete piece of garbage. What a waste of money. I'm never buying a console ever again or something. And then, I turn around and buy the PlayStation 4 Pro or the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox Scorpio or something. It'd be really, I guess, hypocritical. You could say that, but not so much. Just it's one of those things where you should never say never, even though I just kind of said never. But Michael Pachter, man, just completely ridiculous. Don't listen to what this guy is saying. I know I'm entertaining his thoughts by making this video, but I'm just trying to make you aware when this guy speaks, it's oftentimes to just sort of, get videos like this or other articles talking about, this particular quote or what have you. He's a contrarian. He's a smart man, but he's a contrarian. Like he likes to go against the grain. He likes to go against, popular opinion, on a lot of different topics and such. But that's exactly what I feel this quote is. I mean, I think he does mean it, even if just a little bit. But it's a silly thing to say. It's an absolute silly thing to say. I believe that. I mean, maybe you guys don't. I mean, I'm sure most of you probably do. It's just silly. It's really, really silly to say that PC gamers are like racist. I don't even know how you could compare the two, honestly. PC gamers are like racist. I'm not saying that there aren't PC gamers, PC only gamers that aren't racist people. I'm not saying that, right? There's console gamers that are racist. I'm sure of it. I've encountered some of these people on both platforms. So I know. I've encountered racists right here on YouTube in this gaming community. So there's that as well. I've even talked to some of these people pretty often, at least in the past. And once I found out some of their true colors, I didn't really talk to them anymore. But I just disagree completely. And for his last line, PC gamers are arrogant twits that feel like what they do and what they can accomplish on their platform of choice is just better than what anyone else can do. I don't think PC gamers think that. I think they know that, along with everyone else. Everyone knows that PC gives better performance, better visuals. I mean, it's just a given. Like, console games just don't even compare when you start talking about games that do, 60 FPS, like, Witcher 3, or you can even play that at like 100 FPS, or, GTA 5, things like that. Those games on PC, I know I've talked about it a lot. I know I see guys like Solid Rev talking about it a lot, but you see those games on PC, it's like a whole other world or something. It's complete, like, it's mind fuck is what it is. Like, those games on PC look ridiculous. Games shouldn't look that good, because then you become spoiled and see other open world, sandbox type games, and you're like, and you start making comparisons in your head, and sometimes you might not even be able to enjoy it because sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it. You've been so spoiled on some of these other games and some of these other visuals, you're like, God, I can't enjoy this game like I did GTA 5 or Witcher or something. Like, it's not the same. But yeah, man, I mean, even when we talk about, like, who's somebody else? I'm trying to think. I mean, a lot of guys, even the bigger YouTubers, own consoles, right? Because they know that they're going to be playing like the bigger, more well-known console exclusives right when they come out, so they can be like the first to review it or first to put up impressions or some gameplay or something. Some of these guys some of the bigger YouTubers will get their copy in advance over another bigger YouTuber because, like, they made some sort of, paid promotion deal with said developer or said publisher, and they're like, hey, I want to review this game first, or I want to put, an hour's worth of gameplay out first, whatever the case may be. I mean, they own consoles. Like, a lot of these guys own consoles because, I mean, I think it's best to have at least one of the consoles as well as a good PC. I've always said that. One good one good PC doesn't need to be great or amazing. One good PC and one of the consoles, whatever preference you want to roll with. I mean, it's all in what you want, man. So this video went on a lot longer than I wanted it to. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you again for the continued support. You guys have been great. Take it easy. Peace.